Bharatiya Prime Minister to take on a sortie on the Tejas aircraft. And with this, he sent out a strong message on the indigenization and importance of Atmanirbharta, especially in the defense sector. But yet again, needless political nitpicking has emerged. First, it was the Congress party that started the credit war, and now the Trinamool has stooped to perhaps an all-new low. Trinamool Congress MP Shantanu Sen has said that PM Narendra Modi has taken Tejas sortie. He fears it will crash. The remark drawing massive criticism from the BJP, but this is not how it all started. There were barbs like Maut Ka Saudagar in 2007, Neech, Khoon Ki Dalali thereafter in 2014, 2019. PM was then called Panauti, which means bad omen, after Bharat lost the Cricket World Cup final against Australia at the Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad, and all that because PM was present there physically. Question is, has this name calling gone too far? Let's go straight across to Shazia Almi, national spokesperson of the BJP, and America IV Narayanan, Congress leader. Mr. Narayanan, Namaste, Jai Bharat, Jai Hind, thank you very much for joining us. Is this really going to be the political discourse?
Are you talking to me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. First thing is, let's get few things clear. Tejas is a great fighter plane which is going to replace MiG-21. It has flown 1400 miles or nautical miles, I think, to Dubai Air Show, where it stood up against the Pakistan-driven Chinese flight. I think it's JK something. Now, so when we talk about Tejas, let the opposition and yourself be clear. We are not talking about Tejas, which is manufactured by HAL, which of course the Prime Minister cancelled when he bought the French Air Squadron, making sure that HAL does not get the maintenance contract or assemble contract. But leaving that aside, the criticism of the Prime Minister, let's be clear, it is not the criticism of the Indian Air Force or Indian soldiers. We salute them. Now, let's come back to the question in hand, where the Prime Minister has taken the first Prime Minister to take traveling in a fighter plane. And I salute the Prime Minister. I think the Prime Minister is an ambassador, and when he personally goes in that, I think he should have gone to Dubai Air Show too, because he's great in one of the best qualities of our Prime Minister. He's a great marketing man, and he should have gone to Dubai and really done that job, because we would have had more orders and we could have created more employment for our HAL engineers and in Bangalore. But I just wonder why the Prime Minister has not given the same kind of job which he could have given to the HAL when he bought the French, and instead gave it to Reliance, which did not have any experience. But the Tejas, we want to put it on record, it started in 1980s and still continued till 2014 and subsequently moved forward. And I think the Prime Minister, I really give the credit to the Prime Minister. He has done a great job in terms of projecting Tejas, and I think it needs to be projected.
Sir, my humble submission.
He wants to take the whole
Can you hear me, sir?
On things like this.
Can you hear me, sir?
More often than not, the criticism comes against the Prime Minister because he wants to politicize everything.
No, how is doing a sortie, Mr. America V. Narayanan? First up, it is not Tejas, it is Tejas. Tejas means that...
Tejas, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Tejas,
so it is Tejas.
Corrected. Thank you for correcting me.
Let's appreciate and understand why it is called, and you as America V. Narayanan should understand the meaning of Tejas and where it emanates from. But on the other hand, starting from there, sir, there were a lot of truths that you are very economical with. be it the HAL, be it who got the contract, why Rafale was brought, and when the Rafale deal was entered into, if it was PM Narendra Modi. Let's not get there because it will be a long lecture in history or perhaps why you're economical. No, sir, you're not. So you're being very, very economical with facts. Because then are you trying to say that the Congress leaders... No, did you say that... Okay, let me not get into it. Shazia Almi, please respond. Please respond. That the Prime Minister is doing... is being criticized, not the Indian Air Force. And the criticism is that because the Prime Minister is politicizing everything.
Do you know what happened last time Rahul Gandhi made these casted aspersions on Prime Minister Modi and how the sale and the deal of Rafale was brought about? Do you know how that last thing transpired, how that panned out? When Supreme Court itself said very clearly that there has been absolutely fair play and there is no chance or any wrongdoing, and Rahul Gandhi actually had to apologize for having bandied around lies. Actually, it is in the DNA of the Congress party and their stooges to believe that nothing is possible without kickbacks. They were, after all, the kings, the kickback kings.
Mr. Narayanan, she didn't interrupt you. One minute, Shahjaji. 1 minute, Shahjaji. Mr. Narayanan, please don't heckle. Please wait for your turn. 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 Please wait for your turn.
Don't use unparliamentary words.
No, please wait for your turn. You have the right to be sarcastic and you have the right to go after the Prime Minister, but the BJP does not have a right to respond. No, sir. Let her respond and you counter Mr. Narayanan. Please, Mr. Narayanan. Please wait your turn. Please wait for your turn.
Ill-informed stooges of the Congress party and the
Shahjaji, can we please refrain from name calling, please?
And carried out. So coming now.
Can we please?
No, I actually believe it. The Supreme Court. No, I'm not doing that. You know about Bofors. You know how kickbacks happened. But now look at the situation today. There is now so much embarrassment amongst these fools. You know why? Because the Prime Minister shows the path. You know the defense exports for the first time, you know what they are? 60,000 crores. Can you imagine the faith in Indian industry, in indigenous capabilities of HAL and the exclusive club India will be a part of, being a developing country along with Brazil, which is the only one so far in the developing countries which actually makes fighter jets and exports them. So look at these ill-informed stooges of yesteryears, of crony capitalists and corruptionists who cannot even understand why this is happening. And I would also like to say that it's a matter of great pride that the Prime Minister walks the talk. Those visuals are very impressive. They bolster not just the image of India but Indian capability. And to talk about and politicize his taking a sortie in Tejas at this point of time is just another exhibition of small-mindedness and all the jealousy these small-minded people seem to be simmering in and marinating in only because they have nothing else to say. So I think it's a matter of great pride. I think Indian Prime Minister has done an exemplary job in when it comes to talking about the indigenous capabilities of India and HAL, and in boosting defense exports to the tune of 60,000 crores. This is a first. And imagine Tejas will be now exported to Argentina and to Egypt. And we want to do it to many more countries also exported. So this is where we are. And just see the naysayers. All they have to come up with, oh, why is the Prime Minister taking a sortie? This is, and you know, they're the true Panautis. They're Panautis for India. And Indian abilities and Indian capabilities.
Now, Shahjaji, please.
For India.
Shahjaji, please.
And I think that, and they're aware of it.
Mr. Narayanan respond. Yeah.
First, I think whatever she said in terms of bringing employment and taking our country's flight where Argentina and other flights are flying, I welcome that. I really salute that. No, let me finish up, please. Now, to call somebody, you know, when you don't have the point, you start calling other people by name, stooges, you know, liquors and whatnot. We can do that, but it's not in our blood.
Shahjaji, now please. You please don't intervene. Please let him complete.
It's not in our blood to call everybody by name. When you don't have logical answer, you start calling people by
Mr.
names.
Narayanan, with
As
due
a
respect,
fact,
sir.
I avoided. Let
Mr.
me
Narayanan,
finish
sorry.
What logic?
Please,
No, one minute,
Shahjaji,
Shahjaji, please. Mr. Narayanan, just 10 seconds from you, and then you please continue. Going by what you just now said, sir, you are actually saying whatever the Congress and the Trinamool Congress has said about the PM is wrong. Because they have nothing else to say, they are indulging in name calling the PM. By your own logic, right?
I'll come back to that. I'll answer. Since you asked that question, I'll answer that. I'll answer that. First, so the point
Time
is,
for me to guffaw.
when you don't have the answer,
Okay.
ma'am, if you finish it, you are welcome to take the show, because it's always been you guys, most
No,
of the shows
America ji, when she
was
was speaking, you were
Congress leader.
guffawing.
No,
Now you are speaking, she is guffawing. But
you asked me to
request,
stop,
okay,
and
please
you did
go
not
ahead.
ask me.
Please go ahead, Mr. Narayanan.
No, I'll come
Please
to that.
go ahead,
Please,
Mr. Narayanan.
let me come to that.
Okay.
That's
First
only
thing
fair.
is, first thing is that, see, what happens is, it is the enemy in a battle. I'm not calling the Prime Minister enemy, I think he is my Prime Minister. But in a battle, who determines what is the weapon that you got to use? Rahul Gandhi and opposition leaders has been, what they have done, and I think they have just started getting to be paid in their own coin. I just don't want to get into that. It's unfortunate, but it is a BJP and the Prime Minister, unfortunately, when he was right from the Chief Minister's time, has been using unparliamentary, or I would call not necessarily the same equivalent of Panauti. They have used it, and now they are getting paid in the same coin. Let's just leave that out. Let's come back to, I did not use the word Rafale because it will bring the corruption, it will bring the reliance, it will bring the thing. You did say that Rahul Gandhi did apologize to Supreme Court, not because of what he talked about in the Rafale dealings, where the Prime Minister has cancelled several squadrons that would have been assembled, but instead he bought only 36 fully equipped for the same price.
you're
Not
wrong
for
again.
that. But he
You're
used,
completely
let me finish up. Let me finish up.
completely
He attributed to the Supreme Court, he attributed to the Supreme Court that the watchman is a thief. I forgot the Hindi word for it, just like I mispronounced Tejas wrongly. But coming back, that he attributed to Supreme Court, which the Supreme Court did not say.
Mr. Narayanan,
But Supreme Court did not criticize him, and he did not
Mr.
apologize
Narayanan,
for bringing up where they brought in reliance.
Shahjahan.
Mr. Narayanan, whoever you are, sir,
I'll keep quiet.
With all deference,
Right.
I really want to say, Mr. Narayanan, I don't know who you are, but I just want to read out, you seem to be, you seem to have very sketchy details about what's happened and what's actually transpired. Let us get real. And I want to read out what the Supreme Court said. Supreme Court dismissed all petitions seeking a court-monitored probe of 59,000 crore contract for Rafale fighter jet made by Dassault. And they also said there was no reason to doubt the decision-making process because the petitioners had alleged fiscal malfeasance and commercial favoritism. So this is what has happened. Everybody, that part is over and done with. Coming to Tejas and on the name calling, when you talk about, when you wish badly for, and you say that PM would be Panauti or bad news, or it augurs badly for Tejas, do you know what you do? You are not just doubting the processes of the national processes and what is happening in the country, but you're casting aspersions on Indian Air Force, on the pilots. You actually are being literally unlucky and bringing bad luck, because these are bad vibrations. And not just that, you talk about cricket, you talk about Chandrayaan. So what is the point? I understand you have an axe to grind with the Prime Minister, but here you are roping in India's scientists, Indian cricket team, India's pilots, Indian Air Force. And I think that that extrapolation.
There, Shahjaji,
but
Mr.
that
Narayanan was very clear.
I think it's actually in very bad taste.
He was very clear that it is no disrespect to the Indian Air Force, to the pilots, to the engineers, to the technicians, those who have developed Tejas at all. He qualified that right at the beginning. But what stands out, Mr. Narayanan, is that every time the Congress party or the opposition has gone after the PM personally, at least for the last 16 years, sir, it has backfired. From the 2006-2007 Maut Ka Saudagar episode till date, sir, every time somebody has called him names, it has backfired. Now, why is this keenness to flog a dead horse, if I may say that? Because it only backfires. The whiplash is back on you. When I say you, the opposition.
Can I?
Yes, final word, sir.
Can I respond to that? Okay, first thing is, I think finally the people are the judge, and I think Congress has to bow its head, and we respect the people's judgment in the democracy, number one. Number two, as I suggested earlier, it is BJP that has started this game of making our Rahul Gandhi and calling him by names. I think he has come a long way, and through Bharat Jodo Yatra, and I think he is connecting with the people well.
I think the
state results will speak up for itself. But having said that, I really think there's nothing wrong in the Prime Minister taking Tejas.
Right.
I think I meant it in the right sense of the word. There are several
frankly,
times
Mr. Narayanan,
I also say Mr. Narayanan,
Mr. Narayanan, if you go back to the instance, you may say whatever. You may say that he's a master at marketing Bharat and Bharat's achievements. Perfectly fine, sir. But the people who politicized this entire effort and brought it to the attention and notice is the opposition, the Congress and the Trinamool. I have to wind up for the moment, Mr. Narayanan. Thank you for joining us. Shahjaji, please stay on.